Ooh, we're live, I think. I always say I think we're live in the video and then I watch the YouTube video and I've cut off the beginning of the sentence, so who knows. But hello, we're back. It's been a week or something. It's a morning today. I guess there's a morning every day, but like, it is earlier than I normally stream. It is 9 minutes to 10, which for someone who's very self-employed is pretty early. 3 hours of that. that's not even the sound a drum makes. Oh, I'm slightly off the top of the screen. There we go. So yeah, and I'm gonna go for a walk later. I'm gonna walk along the canal. It's gonna be very nice. Hopefully the weather holds out. Looks pretty right at the moment. Is there anything else I want to say? No, use my CodeCrafters referral link. Sign up to CodeCrafters. It's good. Sponsor me on GitHub sponsors. Give me your money. You know, those sort of things. Just spotted your stream. I usually miss your streams as I live in New Zealand. Oh, is it Braden? Braden Foster, welcome. Good to have you. Yeah, I'm just saying, trying a morning thing. It's very exciting. I'm getting a bit warm already. So yeah, coding. Coding, that's a thing that we do on the odd occasion. So the situation is, some people were talking about global mutable states in the Discord last night. I think it was last night. And the sort of various different options came up. And that is, oh, you could use an actor, which is sort of the most obvious one, but is often the worst way to do this sort of thing, I think. Or you could ETS tables, they're really good. Or you could use persistent term, they're really good, but you need to think quite carefully about how to use them. Or that was another one, wasn't there? What other one did I come up with? Oh, I don't know. There's just so many ways to do global mutable state in Erlang. But the one that came up at the end, I was like, oh, why don't we have this? Is it atomics? So that being mutable integers that can be atomically updated, so you're guaranteed to not do, you know, bad reads and stuff. Newbie? Hey, little boy, do you want to come say hi to the people? Yeah, come on, come here. No, that's the wrong way. Okay. So JavaScript's got an atomics. It's not a mod. What is it? It's like an object. You can't instantiate it. It's like the math object, you know. But there's an atomics one. Oh, Roger. Roger. Hello, welcome. Thank you very much. Good to have you. How are you? How's your morning? Where are you from? What are you up to? Does VGC in your name stand for video game chat? I think it might be. Any plans for some debugger? It's not something I'm planning to work on. There's no reason why not. I haven't used a debugger since, well, I don't know, maybe 9-10 years ago. So I don't really know anything about debuggers. I'm not well placed to use them. My probably incorrect opinion on debuggers is it works much better in they're much more useful in languages with lots of mutable state everywhere, but if you don't have mutable state, then they're not very useful. But I'm probably wrong. I think it's probably a workflow thing. So yeah, JavaScript's got an atomics object. Erlang's got an atomics module. Well, let's have those in Gleam, because atomics are fantastic. If you can model your shared mutable state with atomics, you should, because they are the fastest possible thing you can use. They're great. They're really, really, really nice. The problem with them is that they're integers. There's not all that much you can really implement with integers. Not just integers. Okay, so how do I make my editor show up? They're typed arrays, not very. Yeah, okay, yeah. They're multiple integers in an array. Integers plural. Someone ban Haley from the chat. She's being clever again. Oh, you can see the tabs. Did they actually load? What if I do this? No. So here's a weird thing about Ghost TTY, Ghost 2i. This terminal emulator I'm using is if I click on different tabs, like you can see the tabs, right? But if I click on them, you can't see anything but the original tab, which makes tabs a bit pointless if I'm streaming, to be honest. There we go. Atomics are the arrays of integers, and you can perform operations on them like get and set and update, and your computer will guarantee that they are atomic, which means in a multi-threaded environment you can safely update them, and if someone else reads it, it will be read before or after. So you don't end up with like strange race conditions from mutating these integers, which is really cool because normally you need to, if you have some shared state that you need to access from multiple threads, you need to put a lock around it. So and then the other threads have to wait for that lock to be released. Well, that doesn't happen with atomics. It also guarantees that the CPU won't, because the whole idea that C is how the computer works is kind of outdated now, because the computer will do lots of strange things like reorder statements and things in ways that it thinks is safe to do. And if you're doing things like mutating integers, or if it reorders the sequence of statements, then you end up with the wrong order of operations. But if you have atomics, it knows that it shouldn't move things beyond those points. So your integers end up working the way they think. Are we looking at editor? We are looking at NeoVim. I agree with the comment about debuggers. I tend to use in PHP as it can be tricky to follow what is happening in a library in particular. Yeah, that's fair. I suppose we don't have like a traditional debugger thing. We do have Erlang tracing. Again, you'll have to use the Erlang syntax. And Erlang tracing is really nice because it's like a debugger that you can run on production, and it doesn't stop the program, but it lets you see the data flow through the program while it's running. So you go, oh, there's something going on wrong in production, connect to it, let me trace that function. Oh, look, this is happening. This state I think is invalid. Okay, now I know how to fix it. That's pretty cool. So the other thing I want to set up is my web browser. Where is it? This one. Erlang is wicked. Erlang is really cool. Like all the production monitoring stuff is absolutely incredible. So what have I got? I'm in my little Scratchpad repo, and I already started last night. Oops, I typed something all kinds of wrong there. Was that my fingers one space to the left or something? Gleam test. Oh wow, I'm struggling with typing. There we go. I've got one whole test. Should we see what it is? My editor really wants to be updated. Right, there we go. Oh, good. The tree sitter password TSX has been installed. I didn't even use that. So I've made a new array. It has length 2. There you go. Try and get the first thing. Oh, it's 0. Try and get the second thing. Oh, it's 0. Try and get a third thing. Oh, there isn't a third thing. Gosh, how exciting. I wonder what happens if you try and do negative. Should we find that out? What a name. Potato enjoyer. Hello, welcome. I love it. As an Irishman, 2 thumbs up from me. Right, right, you've got -1. Let's run some tests. Oh, look at the tests have passed. My code sort of works, and I've written this so it works on, you can run it on Erlang and it works, and you can run it on JavaScript and it also works. I'm not fully sure what the use case is for. I'm not fully sure what the use case is for atomics on JavaScript, to be honest, because they don't have multiple threads. I guess they got web workers, but I thought you could only communicate via JSON. You can't pass. Can you pass typed array buffers over to web working in JavaScript? Programmer, that's a good name. Welcome, my friend. Good morning. How are you? What have you been up to? You can pass shared memory. Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so there is a use for atomics then, I think. Sorry to say, it is a Path of Exile ref. Oh man, I thought you were just really into Poe from the Teletubbies. Oh, that's P-O, isn't it? There's no E. Don't take any stuff. Don't take any stick from Haley. She likes League of Legends, which, you know, I think that's the lowest common denominator of a video game, surely. Was that Call of Duty? I don't know what people do anymore. Okay, so what operations do we want? We probably want a set operation, right? Test. Let's do set. So let's grab, let's make an array. What happens if it's negative? Yeah, let's do like invalid new. Because this is possible, right? Like, what does this do? Like, does it crash? Invalid buffer length. Okay, so let's do something about that. Oh, and I haven't tested the unsigned ones either. New signed. So let's do like exactly the same thing, but for the unsigned ones. Oh, I need to blow my nose. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna mute. Hello again. Yeah. So when you make one of these arrays, you've got to say if they're signed or not. Okay, that works for me. And we're only going to do 64-bit integers. JavaScript supports other sizes, but Erlang does not. It's a bit weird because in JavaScript that means that if there are numbers you can represent with this atomics module that you're not going to be represent with a number type. So I think we're just going to have to caveat, hey, look, there's possible for you to get some degradation here. Finally, the English are streaming at a time that's convenient for their colonies. Thank you, Isaac. Well, I'm clinging onto my the Irish side of my nationality, who are England's oldest colony, 800 years of oppression, of which I experienced none because I was born in the 90s. Hey, lesbian monad. Hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a little while. That's my fault, not yours. Right, so let's make these private and call them FFI thingies, and then let's make a pub version of each of them. Gosh, it's getting too warm already. It's only the beginning of the day. What temperature's in here? It's only 24 degrees. Maybe I'm unwell. I hope I'm not unwell. That would be really annoying. Right, so what do we do? Same thing here. Oops. So FFI new signed, and then we want to have the max of size and 0. Can you 0 them, do you think? Let's see what happens. So that's valid in JavaScript, but it's not valid in Erlang. Ooh, I don't know about that. You haven't been on Twitch much lately? I've not been on Twitch much lately either. So did we just say the minimum size is 1? Okay. Okay, let's make a length. That's probably a nice thing to have here now. Length, size. It should probably put size, because the beam convention is size is constant time and length isn't. It's a silly convention, but we're doing it. Lovely. Oh, this is private. Let's unprivate that. And let's make a pub fun size test. Is that Gleam icon in the status line? Oh my gosh, there is a Gleam icon in the status line. It's not the proper Gleam icon, it's like a generic star with a face. Looks a bit weird if you get up close to it. I think that must be new because I've not noticed that before. I'm not sure how I find out what the how that happens. So what do I want to do? I want to do atomic array dot size should equal to 2. Oh no, the function doesn't exist. Okay, I can do that. I don't remember how you get the size from atomics. I think there's an atomics info. It helps if you spell things correctly, eh? So what's this gonna do? Oh, I don't know why it does that. Okay, so we've got a dictionary and oh yeah, it's got like a size. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's got a size atom. Okay. Is that gonna work? Oh, I wish it wouldn't do that. I don't have to make any of them behave. Nice. Okay, so we've got it for Erlang. Let's do it for JavaScript as well. Okay, so size is not defined. That's fine. Migrated from the YouTube stream. This is where the party's at. Twitch. Sorry, I'm eating with my mouth full, Havrid. Twitch is where the party's at. It's all happening here. Right, so we've got a size. Zero. How do you think we get the size out of this? Beware my stupid questions. None of these are stupid. What's the question? Is the repeating structure of FFI functions in each language, is there a way to macro to this repetition? I mean, it's almost no. It's just a function definition, you know. And you're gonna the only thing that's repeated really is the name, because the definition is going to be different for each runtime. Like, what would you even remove? Like, what if you could make it like that somehow? Gleam is the best. Yeah, Gleam is the best. He's like, I was AFK for 3 minutes and someone called a lesbian monad is in the chat. Oh dear. Of course you already know each other. Gosh, I'm getting way too warm. I've got a tank top under here, so I'll be. It'd be like the beginning of the Louis bathtub stream as I get in progressively skimpier clothing. So how do we think we do it? Do you think there's an array dot length? This is going to be not what I want. Oh, I really dislike how my editor does that. No. Oh, because you're meant to return things in JavaScript. Gosh, I'm such a fool. Oh, that's just it. That's it. Okay, that's it. I sense hello. Louis has a tank top on you. Yeah, but it was a top I got from the charity shop, and then I just like cut the sleeves off. And a flannel shirt. How groundbreaking! You're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to come to the charity shop with me and influence some of my purchases, and then I'll wear something other than flannel shirts and a tank top. That was that time I wore an all green outfit, and you couldn't see me. That was a fun day. Brad says, I'm a super noob to Gleam and I love it so far. That's really cool. That's awesome. Good to have you, my friend. Cool, so we've got length. Size, rather. God, I keep calling it length. That's really annoying. What else do we need? We probably need a set. Presume it's set. We'll see what the actual API is for Erlang Atomics. We've got a get. We've got an add. We've got a put. Do you get to pick the... No? Okay. Okay. That seems pretty straightforward. Might try Advent of code in Gleam this year. It's got to be easier to open a file in Gleam than in Zig. I'm still not over Louis not knowing what Brad's is that one time. I know what it is now. I'm with it. I'm just like a bit behind. My PHP brain struggles with how simple things can be in Gleam. That's a nice. I like that. That's really cool. Right. So, what do we think is the next thing we want? Let's do set and set into the. Wait. Yeah. So set into the array at index. Is the index go first, do you think? Hey, Andrew. How's it going, my friend? Value. Also int. Oh, that's annoying. Oh. So, Do we think... No, I can't remember. I'm not sure where I'm going with this now. Okay, let's try... let's make some more tests for size, though. So, if it's 1, it should be 1. If it's 0, it should still be 1. If it's -1, it should still be 1. And let's just say if it is 1000, it should be 1000. Ah, I've started doing set, but set doesn't exist. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Those are just warnings. So, question. Guys, I'm getting too warm. It's tank top time. Okay, so if you call set on an array and you're out of bounds, that should return an error? Or does it silently do nothing? I think probably return an error, right? So I've said it returns an int. Let's try it. Okay, so set test. Okay, so let's make an atomic array. Let's make it new and signed. Oh, I haven't tested the unsigned ones, have I? So new signed one of length 2. Let's do some getting. Then let's. Oh. No, I'm streaming. Sorry. I was like, I'm streaming. What do you want? And I was like, I'm on the phone. What do you want? Hey Matthew, thanks for the follow, friend. How you doing? It's going well, except it's getting blooming warm in my room. Okay, so mutated. Woo. Now we get to see the excitement that is. That should equal okay nil. Ah, you actually need to pass in. Okay. The array is mutated. Oh, look at this, everyone. We've got mutable state in Gleam. Finally, Gleam is going to become a good OO language. We can implement for loops at last. Oh, mutated. Okay. Haley's gonna do it. So, oob. God, it's so nice, the autocompletion now. Look at that. It's so good. Look at that. I love the language server. There's loads of cool features, actually. I'm not really doing anything that shows off the features. Maybe I can. Let's do this. New sign. Why is it not doing that? Or new signed. Look at that. We've got a little thing that shows you what the arguments are when you start writing them. Does it autocomplete the labels? I feel like it's meant to. Maybe I haven't compiled that version. Oh, this is wrong anyway. This is meant to say 50. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is the JavaScript target we're running. So let's go to the JavaScript FFI. How does this work? I don't remember. JavaScript atomics. Potrepo. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's a lovely day. It's a bit too warm in my room. Actually, maybe I can open a window a bit. Hold on, let me do that. Atomics. Side note, I tried Googling the other day, but is there anywhere I can buy Gleam stickers to support anything? I'm going through a phase of covering my case in stickers at the moment. I'm so glad you asked. I know I've said this on the Gleam Discord many times over the past few months, but any day now, I'm hoping to have a sticker store. Any day now. Yeah, it's quite hard to make merch stuff without using big horrible companies, and we're trying to use like little independent printers and stuff. Or rather, a friend of mine is setting up a printing business, and I was like, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. But it takes a long time to bootstrap everything, it turns out. So I don't know. Maybe next week. Maybe if we're lucky. Fingers crossed. But who knows? I'm looking for load, I think. There we go. Load. Oh, what's this? Notify. That's interesting. Should we read what that does? Oh, gosh, look at that. Wow. How did... Oh. Oh, wow. Wow. May not be allowed on the main front. I was going to say, look, you can block on it. Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool. Why on earth am I seeing an advert for GitLab? What the Oh no, Mozilla, what are you doing? These websites just get worse and worse, I swear. Okay. Anyway, that's really cool. I didn't know about that notify thing. I don't think Erlang has anything like that. No. I mean, why would you need that in Erlang? What about a Lucy plush toy? Oh my gosh, I would love a Lucy plush toy. A friend of mine made a Lucy out of felt, which was really cute. I would definitely buy some stickers. Gotta say, Lucy is the nicest logo I know. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Someone turned up and like made the logo and then it vanished, and I never worked out who they are. So I think that's nice. Just like came out the ether. I read about atomics in Joe's Idiomatic Go book yesterday. He seems to think that overkill even in Go. I find that weird because atomics are like the simplest possible kind of shared mutable state. It's just a mutable variable. So I don't really understand that. Like the alternative would be using a mutex, which is way more complicated and really easy to mess up and Go. Like if you can solve a problem, if you wanted to have some shared state, and you can solve it with atomics, you should. Like a hit counter, for an instance, or just like for telemetry reasons, you really want to use atomics for that. And the performance difference between them and anything else is incredible. They're so fast. That's probably because most of the other ones are implemented with atomics. You can't not use atomics. So load, what do you do? Oh no, this is like read. No. Store, that's what I want. Okay. Well done, MDM. I'm gonna give you that $10 right now. Wait, sorry, what? Twitch keeps showing me the peanut butter fetish ad for Reese's. What on earth did you just say? What? Tuna, the Cuba, what? What are you talking about? What does that mean? Anyway, I've been Gleam curious lately, but I'm fairly new to FP and lambda calculus. So you don't need to know the lambda calculus. Doesn't matter. New to FP, then Gleam is the language for you because it's really simple. The the peanut butter fetish ad. What? Reese's has an ad with sensual ASMR voice and a cringy voice line. Yeah, we're into it too. Oh, I really don't like that. Do you like eat? Should I eat my breakfast really sloppily in your ear? Do you think I'll get more or less viewers if I do that? I checked out the ASMR section of Twitch once, and I like it. I remember it vividly. Like, it really stuck with me. It was horrible. Oh dear. Anyway, let's get back to like some programming. That's distinctly unpleasant. So it like atomics store. I don't know where this autocompletion is coming from. Is it Deno? No, I must have the node one. Store. Put an array in, and then an index, and then a value. That's not going to do what I want because I haven't done any. Oh, I really dislike that. Oh, I've got to convert things into a big int first. Okay. It seems silly. Can't convert 50 to a big int. Yes, you can. You can totally do that. He prefers Chan and mutex. This is a response to the Go thing I was saying earlier. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. A mutex, first of all, is implemented using atomics. Has the same. You use it in the same way in your program, but there's a bunch of boilerplates. It's possible for it to be poisoned, and it's dramatically slower. Doesn't make any sense. Like, mutex should be the last thing you want to use. If you can use channels, awesome. If you can use atomics, awesome. If you could use mutex, okay, fine. But there's no reason to ever put an int inside a mutex. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe you need a clicky blue switch keyboard to bring in the ASMR. I'll type as close to. Wait, I'll type really close to my microphone. Hold on. How's this gonna work? I'm gonna be really short to talk into my microphone now. Right, are we ready? I feel nervous about typing now. That's really silly, isn't it? I should have bought a louder keyboard. I forgot what I was doing. Okay. Was that loud enough? Haley says, you already know the lambda calculus, you just don't know it. Yeah, that's kind of true. I think like almost all of the theory things people talk about in functional programming is a distraction. Oh, I'm gonna do that every time. That's so annoying. I'm returning an error instead of a Gleam error. I do that every time. Oh, no, that's the wrong one again. Error nil should equal OK nil. I wonder what the error was. Oh, that's because it's not a big int. Okay. How do you make a big int? Do you think it's that? Oh wow, let's not do that. Let's get rid of that one as well. Nice. Okay. Haley agrees with me, so I'm just going to read out what she says. Complete waste of time. Yeah. You don't want to know about, you don't care about category theory. You don't care about lambda calculus. You don't care about any of this stuff. Just write some code. I do think that all of the I mean, it is fun. It is like, it's a really fun thing to think and learn about, but like, it's completely, incidental to programming and learning functional programming. And I do think that the fact that if you go and look for functional stuff online, you're hit with like, endofunctors and all this sort of stuff. I think that is, actively harmful to functional programming. It's such a bad tool to learn functional programming with, and it's just so off-putting because it's really daunting. And then some people say, oh no, but it makes it easier. And then I look and they've always got a PhD in maths, and I was like, I wonder why you find it easier. Oh well, what can you do, eh? Right, so we need to make this do something else. It's probably going to be exactly the same as this, isn't it? So what do we think it is? I think it's going to be called puts. Don't remember if the index is the same order, but let's do this. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh, how do I stop my editor from doing that? List.fold is your friend. List.fold. Or, I'm an Erlanger, so I'm much more likely to use naive recursion than a lot of other functional programmers. Naive? Is that the word? I'm not sure that's the word. I'm less likely to see, like, if I just want to traverse something, I just write manual recursion. Manual recursion, that's the one. Just write recursion. Recursion is the loop of functional programming. Led Astray 10 years ago by Graham Hutton. Haley, stop it. Fold. Well, actually, what you're describing is called a catamorphism. What you need is recursion schemas. A Haskell programmer just dropped dead. Oh no. Knowing the FP words, it's only useful for being annoying in Twitch chat. Don't forget being smug on functional programming Twitter. Object-oriented programmers with their factories and their proxies. What fools. Anyway, this is a monoid. Exactly the same. I think we should talk about those functional words in the same way we talk about like classical OO design patterns. I think they're the same thing. But one of them are like, and the other one's like, well, boring business stuff. We should see them both as boring business stuff. Just use functions. Don't get me wrong, I think naming things is good. But, you should I prefer like to use it as a tool for communicating about code rather than being a thing that's actually like embedded in your code. You should be able to look at something and go, oh look, that's a functor. But like, you shouldn't call it functor in your code. Call it something that's specific to your problem. Like if you're making you're making a parser, call it a token stream. Don't call it the traversable. I can't remember what I did now. Okay, so both of those things pass. And I honestly think the OO names are better. Like, I mean, I know these things aren't equivalent, but You know, factory is a much better name than functor. Right, what do we do now? So we've got a get and we got a set, and the out of bounds one does what we expect. What other things do you want? Add, like increment. Add. What have they actually just got in their API here? Since we're just wrapping an existing one. They got sub. They got the Haley function. Sub get. What does that do? Atomically subtract from atomic. Why do we need a sub? Why wouldn't we just use add, but like with a negative number? Exchange. Oh. Huh. What would we call that in Gleam? So you put a new value in and you get back the old value. Why wouldn't we just use, do you think there's a performance difference between that and just sets? They call it exchange. Maybe we should always call it exchange. And if they got compare exchange in the Erlang one, excuse me, yes they do. Oh, nice. That's so handy. Look at that. That's so good. Eugenia Chen's book, How to Bake Pie, I found as a fun way to learn category theory in a less pretentious way. That does sound fun. I'm taking a look at the fold definition in the Gleam docs on Hex, and I think I'm not good at reading the docs. Fold is a fairly complicated one to wrap your head around, to be honest, because it's the most flexible of all of the list combinators. I think maybe like fold should be your last stop. Like if you can do it with map and filter, use map and filter. I think fold is when you want to learn with, you know, read some examples, play around with it a bit, ask for help. But once it clicks, it'd be good. Good stuff. Right, so what do we want then? We want add. Yeah, let's do add. What does add get do? Oh, add and return the thing. Okay, see, I'm wondering, like, is there any point to not, and is there any point in exposing these? Sorry, is there any point in exposing add and add get? Do they have different performance characteristics, do you think? Could you just always use add get effectively? I don't know. If we look at the Rust does. Rust atomics. Where is it? Right. Gleam Bros, I'm new here. Not just the bros, there's other people too. But hello, welcome. Welcome. Don't forget about the Gleam gals and the Gleam non-binary pals and the garbage truck that's garbage and the rubbish truck that's going past my house. Oh, it wasn't. It was a construction truck. So, fetch add. Okay, so I think they don't have the just adds. They always fetch. Is that true? Load. Do. How do you? So what does load return? Oh no, I wanted to store. Store returns nothing. What's add? Fetch add. It always returns the previous value. But they never have a... There's no add that doesn't return? Is there no... Is there like what... Oh, but they might implement... a trait for it, maybe. Because Rust is complicated. No, they don't. Okay. There might be a DuckDuckGo bang for directly searching the Rust docs. Yeah, but I've never used DuckDuckGo bangs, have I? I'm never going to be smart enough to think of that. All right, so I just say, is there any reason not for adds just always return the previous value? I think it should. Let's do that. So add. Add to the first index 5. Okay, 0. So this should now be 5. And then we're going to mutate it again. And this should be 8. Do 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 do. Add. Coolio. Add. So what did we say it was in Lang again? Oh, it doesn't return. Oh no, add get. We've got an add get. Okay. Oh, Musha, all 68,000 of you. Welcome. Thank you. How have you been? Why does creating a selector with a subject require a function callback like the identity function, or something like string int to string? That's because you might be adding subjects of different types to the selector, so you need a way of converting the output from that subject into what the selector will be able to return. And for context, that we're talking about the data structure that is used to receive messages in Gleam OTP, which is Gleam's actor framework that's used if you're running on top of Erlang. Because in Erlang you use actors rather than mutex and stuff. It's quite a nice concurrency model, actually. I've forgotten what I was doing now. Is it add get amount? Oh, I did it again. Oh yeah, but I need an equivalent one for the JavaScript. I wonder if I should move all this bounce checking into Gleam. Do you have an opinion on the range syntax that Haskell and Rust use? Not especially. I think it seems a bit overboard to have a whole syntax just for that data structure though. Like I would be happy writing like, you know, range.new, or I guess Haskell would be like new range or something. Are we doing no add? We're doing add. What's it called in JavaScript? Add. Cool. Okay. Oh, every time. Uh. Oh, that's quite a funny error. Number? I think that Rust using dot dot equals versus dot dot for inclusives versus inclusive is brilliant. I think it's cryptic as hell. I think you if you read that the first time, you'd be so confused. Having it be something like range dot inclusive would be so much clearer than exclusive. Like, no one could ever get those wrong. Syntax is bad. Naming things is good. Right. I've run out of coffee, so I'm gonna go get a drink. Maybe another coffee. Maybe something like that. Elegant is such a bad word. I've never heard anyone use the word elegant to describe something I thought was good. I don't want elegant. I want boring and pragmatic. I'm not programming for I'm I'm far too jaded a programmer for that. All right. I'm gonna go get coffee. Back in a few minutes. Go to my holder stream. Getting a coffee. Back in 3, and then where's the button? Doodle. Oh, I'm just about on time. I made it. I made it. I've got coffee now, that's what matters. What did I miss? Maths, nerds, when maths, yeah. Yeah, Nutella burger, wow. What a concept, a Nutella burger. Maths nerds when they see a number. Wow. That's not true, maths nerds hate numbers. Like, if you're using numbers, are you even doing maths? That seems to be the opinion of my friends who've done maths at Cambridge. I'm a programmer, it's very exciting. I don't know anything about maths. My computer does that for me. I love that the term computer used to be a job title before it was the name of a machine. the engineers and mathematicians and whoever would write out what they want computed, and they would give it to the computers, who would be a bunch of people in rooms, like doing all the sums and such. Oh, wild. So what have we got now? Why do we need atomics in Gleam? I thought Erlang is immutable and JS only runs in a single thread. I'm not sure what the use case is for JS specifically. Haley pointed out you can use shared memory buffers between web workers in JavaScript, so I guess that's where you would use atomics. That's kind of cool. Although I'm not exposing any of the cool waiting APIs they've got there. Excuse me. In Erlang, they're just useful for, in Erlang, they're useful for times when you want atomics. There are Erlang, the language is immutable, but there are ways to do mutable things in Erlang. So you could use an actor to model mutable state by having it recurse on itself and hold a different iteration of the value each time, normally triggered by a message or something like that. Or there's all sorts of mutable data stores that are built into the virtual machine. So there's ETS, which is very commonly used, very good Erlang term store, which is an in-memory table, effectively, or you can make as many of them as you want. Well, there's a limit that you can configure, and it's like many thousands. And you've got persistent term, which is a really nice little way of storing values in the virtual machine in a way that can be used without any copying. It has a bunch of caveats around performance, though. It's really powerful. And atomics is another thing. If you want to have a way to, if you want some telemetry where you increment an integer every time there's a request, well, atomics is perfect for that. It's going to be the fastest way to do it. So, it's good to have lots of different tools. Oh. Hello, Jade, the developer. Harry Dubois put down the bottle and started a new career path. Oh. I could never be Harry Dubois. I'm not a good enough. I could never be a PE teacher. Just wanted to blame you for sending me down a rabbit hole after finding a comment you left on a GitHub issue. What was the comment? What was I saying on GitHub? What problem did I cause you? So we can add. We haven't got an add test though, have we? Have we? Oh, we do have an add test. Let's do an add oob. Right. Oh dear. What was that? Which one is that going to be? Did I break something? Add. So we add things. The PE teacher is the thing that stops you from being Harry Dubois. Okay, yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can handle all the the sad songs and the drinking and all that, but and the mystery solving, but I'm not so sure about the PE stuff. Feels dirty, like unsafe in Rust. No, I mean, you know, you've got to have state somewhere in your program. Atomics are a really good tool. I mean, most programs aren't going to directly use them, are they? But what have I broken? I thought this worked a second ago. So this is in add test. It'd be nice if these error messages were a bit better. We need the assertion syntax already, so we can have better. So what's the error here? Should equal 0. Is it these ones? Okay, so that passes. No, that doesn't tell me anything. Okay, so, oh. And this is when I'm running on JavaScript. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Oh yes, because I just returned the value. I just returned nil, I don't return the value. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I can undo all this. And that might work now? No. Oh dear. Okay, that might work. Okay, so then let's mutate it. No, we have mutated it. That should return. Expected OK 0, got OK 5. Have I got is the assertions backwards? Oh, okay. I just returned just the Erlang one. What? Oh, oh no, is it returning the previous value? Oh no, it's supposed to return the previous value, isn't it? Is that true? Remember that time Louis said not to have multiple assertions in tests? Shut up, Haley. Do as I say. Don't. Exactly. I'm demonstrating what you should do. Okay, so if we discover there's a difference in the behavior between. Oh wow. So like that. What really? So in JavaScript, does it return the previous value? No, and then in Erlang it returns the new value. That's quite funny. So add. Okay, so that's the previous value. No, that's the new value. No, it's the previous value. Previous value, previous value, previous value. Erlang, add, get. Oh, it's add, then get. Oh, wow. I'm reading the wrong thing. I'm reading compare exchange. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Oh. Oh no, that's so annoying. I guess we do get then add. That's really funny. But that's not atomic. Oh. Okay, well, I don't think there's actually a way to fix this. That's very funny. I guess we don't implement add get. Does this have add get? We just can. Oh man, that's so annoying. That's so annoying. What do we do? It feels like it would be really useful to be able to get the value back. Why is it useful to have an add get? Well, it would be really cool to be able to encrypt. So you use the hit counter example. I'd really like to be able to increment the count and get back what value it is. I mean, that example, it doesn't matter if it's atomic really, because it could be, so long as it's increasing at the right rates, you don't really mind if you discover you're the, the thousandth or the thousandth and oneth visitor. But if you were giving out, unique IDs, you want to make sure you give back the proper one or something like that. And you can't just like add the number to. You can't just add the number to. So you could add or subtract from one or the other in order to get them to be the same value, but then you need to make sure you implement overflows correctly. And in JavaScript, you're going to have a problem where you're going to hit the precision problem further up. I don't know. Hey Lou, what's your opinion on potentially expanding the function capture syntax so it can work with arbitrary expressions like arithmetic operations and pipes? How would... Oh, I'm being phoned by the garage. How do I make it stop ringing? Hopefully they'll message me on something, because I can't answer a phone now. Okay. Hello, welcome. Good to see you. Okay, so I think maybe the move now is going to have to be to not expose add get and wait and see if anyone complains. It sucks though. I wonder which way around the Rust people do it. Returning the returning the previous value. Return the old value. And then... Gosh damn it, Erlang. Well, I suppose in Erlang you could always subtract, and then you need to implement... It's annoying. Compare exchange? No. Exchange. No, that's not helpful for me either. Can you somehow check target during runtime? Yes, you can. But I mean, this already does because we've got a different foreign function implementation for JavaScript and for Erlang, so we kind of already are. The problem is not knowing which platform we're on. The problem is there's no API in the Erlang world to atomically get the old value and then update it where it is. You would need to do two operations, at which point it's no longer atomic. So it's a problem. I think we just move on. That sucks. That really sucks. Yeah. So, what should we do now? Should we try and... let's do all this. And... no, not get, add. And now... Oh gosh, excuse me. No, we don't need to do that, do we? Did you forget my question on the phone? I definitely did. What was the? Oh yes, I did. Thank you for reminding me. So what was your thought on expanding the function capture syntax so it can work on arbitrary expressions like arithmetic operations and pipes? So the problem with this is, first off, there's a complexity thing. You know, it makes the language more complex. Is that good or bad? I don't know. So if we do this, I don't know why I've written const because I'm writing JavaScript. There we go. So if we did this, like that seems kind of clear what it should be doing. It should be adding, it should be, you know, this should desugar to that. Okay, so what if we have this? What? I mean, that looks cute actually. It's like a little face. What does that turn into? So I think what the programmer wants is that, but we don't actually have a good way of knowing how many expressions you should rise up until you get to what the top is. And maybe you could say like you go up as many Boolean operators as possible. Okay, but then it gets more complicated if you have like pipes and stuff, because you plausibly want to be able to pipe into this. So then you wouldn't be able to rise up. You wouldn't be able to rise up in this case to the top level Boolean expression. And it gets even more complicated if you consider that people want to be able to do it in functions as well. So let's say like, you know, we've got a function called thingy, and we want to add to one to it. So like, how do you know how many functions up this goes? Because this could be, you know, there are use cases for this to be that, and there's use cases for it to also be that. You know, both of those are things that people are going to plausibly want, which means that you need to make the syntax more complicated. So instead of writing this, we would need to write something like maybe that, or I don't know. Let's use a syntax we haven't used before. So like angle brackets. So like you could write that, which would expand to this, and you could write that, which would expand to. Oh no, that's the wrong one. It would expand to this. So like you could do it like that, use a little bit of syntax to show where the top of the capture expression is going to be. But then if you look at this, these two are like almost exactly the same at this point. And these two are almost exactly the same at this point. So you sort of lose the advantage of having the capture syntax in the first place, in my opinion. And this is the thing this is what Elixir does as well. That when they have a capture syntax, it's a lot more verbose than Gleam's because it's used for more stuff. So this would be written in Elixir. It would be how does it work? You know, you write it like that. Yeah, maybe. And this ends up being written as I think you can skip the brackets in that case. Yeah. So they've got a more complicated function capture syntax in order to support this thing. So it's really tricky. I don't personally believe there is a concise syntax that is flexible enough to do the things people want. And when you make it more verbose syntax, you end up with something that looks almost exactly the same as the existing function capture syntax. Sorry, the existing anonymous function syntax. So that's why I think it's not a clear win. And then on top of that, it's just more complexity. It's another way of doing like something very similar to what we can already do. Wobbling thingy are the greatest test names I've ever seen. You should read the compiler. It's full of wibbles and wobbles and stuff like that. I should argue it should resolve at the deshug at the current level. Sure, but I mean, most people want to be able to do more than that. It would not be. It would be much more limitedly useful in that case. Right, people don't often want to make a function that adds 1. It's just not very useful. Like, what could you do with it in that case? It's a function you use to add a number, subtract a number, multiply a number, divide a number, modulo a number. Pipe? Maybe? But pipe already does the same thing. Pipe's just the normal capture syntax, isn't it? So there isn't really a... Yeah, there's not an obvious winner here. When I try and define a named function, I always get told by the compiler I have an unexpected parenthesis. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just using code from the Gleam tool section in the list recursion for some list. I don't know, Tuner. I can't guess what that is. If you paste in the code into chat, I will tell you what the syntax problem is. Learning a new language syntax is always confusing. Haley's saying that there's no named function expressions, only top level declarations are named. That is true. That is true. So maybe you're trying to use a named function inside another function, which you can't do. Only module functions have names. RelRDev, another dev. The dev family is very large. Thoughts on property-based testing? I think it's pretty cool. However, I've not seen it used in great success in business programming. Now, I don't know if that is because I've not worked in any teams where enough effort has been put in to explore that, or if it just is not quite as useful as I want it to be. So another one that's quite interesting that's like that, though I've not seen it used much, would be snapshot testing. But then all the times I have, except for one because I couldn't get buy-in for the team, but whenever I've seen it used, whenever I've applied it, and not to UIs, I mean to other things, it's been immediately highly valuable. Property testing, I've not managed to get that quite so much. It's tricky. I think unless you're making data structures, it can be a lot more complex. There's more of a learning curve on working out how to apply property testing. I think adding, not quite property testing, but generating random values for the bits of your tests that don't matter is quite interesting. Because it also sort of declares this bit doesn't matter. So like if you need a user and it's meant to do something with the user's score or something, we'll give it make the test name make the name in the test be randomized, because then it's clear that bit shouldn't impact anything. That's kind of interesting. I wouldn't say it's super valuable, but that's nice. That's sort of like the first 10% of property testing. So Jay's like, hard no on snapshot testing. The Gleam compiler is written almost entirely with snapshot testing. And when we introduced it, the developer experience went the velocity went way up. So the thing about snapshot testing, I think, is that most people apply it to the wrong things. I've seen it in the wild used almost exclusively for testing generated HTML for UIs. I don't think that's any good. I think that's quite rubbish. I'm a bit sniffy today, because the output you get from it is not very meaningful for a human to read, and ends up being really hard to debug. And I don't think you should be testing UIs with that level of precision. I think it's much better to just look at the damn UI. However, there's loads of tests where you return a complex data structure, and if you use snapshot testing, if you use snapshot testing, it means that all of the time that you spend typing in those complex data structures, you don't have to do anymore. That comes for free. And even more impactfully, if you change that complex data structure, like, oh, I have 500 tests that return this complex data structure, because it's used a lot in my code base. And then I want to add a new field to it. I need to update 500 instances of that. Well, you might be quite good at Vim. Maybe you can do that quickly. You definitely can't do it faster than a snapshot though. That one button and the whole thing's updated. Once you get used to snapshot testing, you realize how much of your previous test work was just mindless data entry that you can completely automate away. You spend dramatically less time writing tests if you use snapshot tests instead of example tests. It's really good. Now you do need good tooling for it. Gleam's got pretty good tooling. Rust is the best tooling I've used for it. Since I am creating my own programming language, which resource helped you with coming up with the syntax for Gleam? I've never read anything really that talks about designing a syntax so much. It's quite tricky. So my single bit of advice for anyone who's interested in making a language, and if you're interested in the language design part rather than you're particularly interested in implementing runtimes or something, is to not implement your language for a long time and instead spend all your time writing programs in your language before you've made the compiler, before you've made the interpreter, and then you can say, I'm not using code anymore. Let's get away from that. So, it's quite challenging to come up with an idea and implement a compiler for it, and then start testing, see what it feels like. That takes a long time. It's fun, but it's not very productive. It's better to come up with, oh, we've got this. Here's a syntax. Here's a feature. Here's a something. Start writing programs in it. You can't run the programs, but you can type them out, see what they would look like, and you might immediately discover some problems then. Or it might feel good, and then you've got to sit down and you go, right, I'm going to evaluate this in my head. So if you're making a interpreter, you get a piece of paper and you could write down how it's going to reduce, or you could, if it's a compiler and it compiles to, I don't know, so you're compiling to Go or something, you could open another Go file and you could try and type out the code that you think it will compile to, and try and figure out how you would do that transformation inside your head. Because that takes a long time, but it takes nowhere near as long as making a compiler. And that allows you to just iterate on language design so much faster, Coming out of a syntax and writing a parser for it, well, maybe it's a couple of days work, but typing out a small program and then moving it across, well, maybe that's an hour's work, and it's more fun in some ways. And you don't end up with the problem where, you get emotionally attached to that first version. You're like, oh, I've spent days working on this. I spent weeks making this compiler. Well, I'm going to keep going with the language. Well, you didn't do that. You went, oh, I've just written some programs. I'm like, I'm not very happy with it. It's kind of rubbish. It's not very good. I'll do something else. So avoid implementing the language for as long as possible. Write as much code in the language as possible. That last bit is still true even after you've implemented the language. Try and write as much code in your language as possible, because otherwise you won't know what it's like to be a user of your language. Oh, cool. I've got a new spammer. How do I block them? Manage suspicious user. Restrict. Oh, I've restricted them. I don't know what that means. How do I just ban them? I nearly modded them. Test programs can be input for compiler tests. So yeah, save all of them. Save all the old versions as well, because then you can look at them and have fun. We'll spend 12 months creating the perfect syntax and start implementing, and realize everything needs to change once the semantics are worked out anyway. Yeah, so that's why it's really important to do the bit where you evaluate it in your head, because you have to, it's all very well and good saying, I'm going to have this syntax, I'm going to have this feature, and then you got to go, okay, how would that actually work? You got to be able to implement the thing as well. That's hard. I'm used to snapshot tests. Where are snapshots stored? Are they in version control? Yeah, typically they would be written to files in your repo. I straight up do not understand recursion. I had an exam on recursion a couple of weeks ago for my computer science bachelor. Oh, awesome. Well, you know, that's cool that you're doing, you're studying that. I wish I did that. I didn't do that. I did biology. It was rubbish. I don't understand recursion. The best way to understand recursion is just write a lot of it. You know, it's not really any more complicated than looping. It's probably just that you have used looping a lot, but you've not used recursion a lot. They're basically the same things, but just a different way of approaching the problem. I should mod someone. I'm gonna mod Haley. Is Haley a mod? Yeah, Haley's now a mod. Recursion adds a stack to the loop. It does not if your language implements tail call optimization, which all good languages should. Some good languages don't. It's very annoying. Computer science is not cool. I'm struggling. I'm a struggling uni student living on campus. I think studying something that you are potentially interested in enough so that you hang out in a coding stream is pretty fun. Like, I never would have hung out in a biology stream. And I think it's a pretty good career. You know, it's definitely better than being a lab technician. Microbiologist, awesome. That's really cool. I never got through my degree. I got 2 years in and went, oh, this isn't for me. And then I started doing IT stuff. I wish I studied computer science. I'm missing a lot of fundamentals. You can just learn the fundamentals. It's a good thing to do. Yeah, I was going to do a computer science master's, but then I realized that I looked through the course content. I was like, this looks a bit easy. And then I spoke to the professor and was like, I'm worried this will be too easy for me because I've got all this industry experience. He's like, no, it's fine. Look, we've got more challenging exercises. Look, this one, for example, I was like, oh yeah, that's really easy. I could do that in no time whatsoever. It's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do it. I tried to study computer science. I ended up spending my time in bars instead. That's another good use of time. Why not? I mean, university, a large part of it is about learning how to live, right? You know, find out who you are, who you want your friends to be, what kind of place you want to live with, what's it like to live with people, you know, feed yourself, clean, laundry, all that kind of nonsense. Prison or the pub, one then the other. Depends how what's the word? What's the word? I can't remember. Depends how wild the night is. I'm not enjoying seeing that little mod icon next to Haley's name. Maybe I should Rowdy. Thank you, that's the one. Maybe I should unmod Haley. Rowdy. Okay. What have we done? So we've got add, size, set, get. Is compare and swap is probably the only thing we need left. Is that true? Exchange and compare exchange. Okay, what have we called here? Exchange and compare exchange. Okay, let's call the same thing. Is lock free? What does that mean? Oh wow, because it could be implemented using. Oh, interesting. Okay. Does good opt-out GC exist / make sense as a language feature? It depends what your language is trying to do. There are languages with opt-out garbage collection. There are languages with opt-in garbage collection, like Rust, for example. Or like, you know, it depends what you're trying to do. It's quite challenging It's quite challenging designing and implementing a language that gives that level of memory control, though. Most of them end up saying, stuff it, programmer, just get good. I'm not very satisfied with that experience. I like Rust. Like, Rust for me is too complicated a language, but it has really good tooling. It's fast, it's easy to distribute, and it's memory safe. I think those are nice properties. I'd be happy with a. Oh, who just followed me? Oh, Gautier. Lepere? Hello, friend. I've just given up on learning French, so I'm terribly sorry for destroying your name. How are you doing? How you started in software? I made a website on holiday with my dad's laptop when I was 10 or something, and then I never did it again. until I was at university studying biology, having a bit of a panic because I wasn't very good at biology, and I stumbled across a course on Reddit on programming, and I was like, I'll do this instead. Just as I needed to do something productive to ease my soul, but I couldn't face doing my actual work, so I did that, which seemed kind of a pointless waste of time at the time, but it turned out to be quite useful. The guy's course it was ended up going to prison because he turned out to be a not good person, which is a bit alarming. Discovering that a few years ago. If profs saw me struggle to understand what a list is and struggle to read error linting that doesn't text wrap in Vim, they would expel me on the spot. Incorrect. Spend time watching senior programmers on Twitch or at a future workplace, and you will see they are just as bad as that stuff as you are. Just as bad. You switched to computer science after 1 year of biology. I wish I did that. That would have been smarter. So yeah, I've stopped learning French. Sorry, French. I don't see my French friend very often anymore, so I sort of lost interest. Plus, it was getting hard. What am I doing? Oh, I should make tests for the unsigned ones. Oh, we should do a test for overflowing. How am I going to do that? Don't know. How am I going to do that? Let's do the overflow one first. Underflow. So, and then let's add array position 0 minus 1. Yeah. I need to decide on somewhere to move in the UK that is walkable / not car centric. Think about Bristol. Suggestions? Bristol's pretty cool. Bristol's really nice. My problem with Bristol is that it's a little bit too small for me and a bit isolated. It's got a really good music and party scene though, so if you like that stuff, that's good. Manchester's pretty good as well. That's all pretty cyclable. Bristol's hard for cycling because it's very hilly. It's very challenging for cycling. You can walk a lot of it though. There's buses. Brighton's okay. I mean, any of the big cities are pretty good, really. Manchester's pretty banging. London, no, if you want to not use a car, London is kind of the one. You don't need a car at all in London. But it's a very different lifestyle to all of the other cities. What am I doing? I'm getting... So, n should be greater than 0. Should be true. If I said x instead of n. Is it going to work? Oh no. Oh, we've got the add. Oh, really? I thought we fixed the add thing. Oh dear, what have I done? Okay, so let's just focus on the... What have we got here? -1? Oh, this is signed. Okay, so how do I make it overflow on if it's signed? I'm just gonna not negative. Hooray. Okay, so now let's get rid of that. Now we have an error. Why does it say 15? Add test. Test. So originally there was zeros, yes. Oh, this is wrong. This is meant to say 5. This is just no. Oh, this is wrong. Yeah, 0, 8. That's why. It's just a bug in the test. C'est un chat, francophone. I don't know how to say francophone? Francophone? Maintenant. Was that my... What? Anyway, I've swapped French for British Sign Language, which is way cooler, I think. Hills are just hypertrophy training for cyclists. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Right. Okie dokie. Let's do all the same stuff, but for unsigned. Signed un. And this should now equal n, and n should be greater than 0. It has underflowed. Fingers crossed. No! Which one? 68. This one. What? Oh, I'm still using a signed one here. Boom! Look at that big number. Wibbly wibbly woo. Okay, so I can get rid of the debug. Oh look, they're different numbers. How annoying, eh? Boo, precision loss. Hypertrophy training is when you exercise a muscle to the limit in order to make it stronger for the next time it regoes and repairs. Each time you train the muscle a bit harder, it gets stronger over time. Okay, cool. So, if you live in France, why do you want to come back to Blighty? Airbnb is truly evil and you shouldn't use it. Airbnb is awful. Do not use Airbnb. Hotels are nicer anyway. Why would anyone want to come back to the UK if they got out? Maybe they miss the food. What's all this beautiful Parisian food? Where's my beans on toast at? Sun's out, guns out. Please. Guns, come on. Doesn't Airbnb let the host record you with a secret camera? Oh my gosh. Oh. I only let hotels do that. What's the next thing I need? I need to like compare and swap or something. Exchange. Let's do exchange. It's hot when hotels do it. We know all about you, Haley. I want one of those like one-way mirrors, you know, with this like, people could stand on the other side. Okay, so where's the exchange thingy? Okay, cool. That looks pretty straightforward. Actually, what is it in JavaScript? Do we even need the... Oh, no, we do, because we need to catch the exceptions. So what do we think? We think add should be an exchange, and it should return an int. Exchange. Exchange 3. Cool. Oh, I'm going to do that wrong every time. So annoying. So set, get. Okay, save. Nope, wrong place. I didn't actually write any tests, so it's impossible for this to fail. Unless I really messed up. My family live in the UK, otherwise I would definitely choose a different country. I just like, he's such an interesting critter, Haley. Gleam Paris meets up when? I'm not sure I've ever been to Paris. Is it good? Exchange. Good morning, chat. Good morning. Welcome. 7 Verdi. Do a little mutation. Set 0 to 50. Okay, nil. And then we're gonna do a little exchange. Stop that. Oh my gosh, there we go. It was mutated. So exchange 0 for 12, and we should get back 50. Forgot to pren. I forgot to pren again. Oh dear. Evan now should return 50. Oh. What? This is on JavaScript. I'm planning to open a Gleam meetup starting from October. Wow! Sorry, what area would that be? In Paris? Paris? I mean, we could just come over for that. It's not far at all from London to Paris. Count me in. We could alternate them. Yeah, why not? Fantastic. I can speak the 3 words of French that I know. Mm-hmm. Why don't we have the Gleam Paris meetup in London, in Paddington? In the same place as the London meetup. I need me some Gleam stickers. I'm hoping we get some Gleam stickers like in a week or so. I think the Eurostar's called the Eurostar because it's Lucy, right? I'm pretty sure it's named after Gleam. Gleam Eurostar meetup where we just get on and ride up and down. That sounds weird. Okay, so what's the problem here? Why is this erroring? It's the JavaScript one. You can't do that, can you? Gosh, it takes a long time to format JavaScript for some reason. Oh. Oh, so it's not even that one? So... what have I done wrong? One, two, three. One, two, error not. What? Have I got this wrong? Do 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 do. Selective reading. Haley says, "I said ride the train." We all knew what you meant, Haley. Take a shot every time Lewis says JavaScript. It's the Mexican language for the web. It's a bit early to do shots. It's not. It's nearly midday. I'm game. Let's go. Gosh, it's getting warm. I think it's int.sum, not list.sum. Oh, Haley's just said that. Sorry, I'm catching up on chat, everyone. Good luck on the new version of your product or work. A new release is always fun. Right, so what have we got here? We have... I don't understand. I don't understand. So catch e console.log e. .log e. Look how long it takes me to format. What is going on? It's pretty okay. Cannot convert 12 to a bit. Oh, you fool. You fool. This is why you should just print things occasionally. Yeah. How come this is the one place where JavaScript doesn't do... Oh my gosh, it's taking really long time to format things. It's really annoying. Pause. There we go. I just need a new computer. Boom. Okay. Let's try it. Pass. Pass. Oh, I'm still printing things though. Gosh, it's... So something happens when I'm streaming, when I get to about 2 hours, and then suddenly my computer slows the heck down, and I have no idea why it is. If anyone has any idea what on earth could be going on, that would be really appreciated. Because it just means everything like just suddenly gets really quite painful. What's your current hardware? I'm using if you're talking to me, I'm using oh, memory, really? You think it's a memory leak? It says I've got 6 gig of memory available. Does it show swap? Oh, I've used 200 megs of swap. Weird. Why is it doing that? An OBS memory leak? Okay, so maybe I should like update OBS. I don't know how old my OBS version is. Does it say about OBS? No. 30.1.2. Oh! Zodio. Hello. Thank you for the follow. OBS versions. Where is OBS? Releases. I'm pretty close to being up to date. But yeah, something just goes horribly wrong after about 2 hours. And everything gets really slow. How nice is this program though? It makes me feel like a proper hacker. Yeah, I don't know. What is this? What is that? Anyway. It's probably me being hacked, I guess. Mmox doing very enthusiastically use swap. That's interesting. Are you recording as well as streaming? I am not recording. So that I thought maybe that was it. It would like I filled up some buffer with a recording, but I'm not. So I have no idea. How much longer are you going to be streaming for? Just finished training. Probably, I don't know, not much longer. It's coming up to midday, so probably like polish off the last couple functions, maybe write some docs, and then yeah, pass the baton to if any other Gleamlings want to do some streaming, like, you know, I'll totally raid you. That'd be fun. Atomics, like status code like thing. Atomics are mutable integers that are safe to use across multiple threads. Has anyone tried to make a slightly scuffed and concerningly sad 3D Blender model of the Gleam star? So the Gleam star's called Lucy, and someone did make a 3D... Oh, it was the old logo, wasn't it, they made? But someone made a 3D version of it once, which was quite cool. That's just the Trojan, don't worry about it. Yeah. Not using the B-Top Tokyo Night theme. It has themes? B-Top has themes? Oh my gosh, we live in the future. That's amazing. That's so good. Right, exchange. Let's do an exchange oob. Exchange. Oob. Let assert error nil equals atomic array exchange. Array 3. No, 2. 1. Come on. Gosh, that's 3 seconds to compile this program. That is ridiculous. That is so bad. That's absolute nonsense. Is auto function wrapping planned for expressions? I don't know what that means. Oh, you mean use capture syntax? We spoke. Load this video up on YouTube and go back to the beginning, or I guess Twitch afterwards, and then go to the beginning and watch it from the start, because there's a whole section on that. It will explain the whole thing. In short, there's a bunch of pretty massive caveats and problems, which means there's not an obvious design to go for. But I won't explain it again because people get bored. So compare and swap. What do they call it? Exchange something. Compare exchange. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Oh. Oh my gosh. I didn't manage to hit the button in time that time. I managed to dive off the screen, but that's it. Okay, so. Oh my gosh, dying. Right, so what do we think it should be? Compare, exchange, oob. Compare, exchange, oob. Compare, exchange, oob. And then we want a compare, exchange, test. We think it should be 50. And let's do another one where it should be called compare exchange. Let's do another compare exchange 50. Let's do another one where it fails. Fail. We can get rid of this initial state thing. Why do I don't need to write that in every single test? Am I write them in every single test? Yeah. Oh dear. Okay. Don't know why I copied that into every test. It's pointless. Okay. Cool. So, compare exchange. This should fail because it should have. So the do we want to return a different error if you're out of bounds to if you are if you've got the wrong number? What do you think? I think it should probably be a different error. Subatomic Tiny Lucy. Yeah, look at it. Where is it? Oh, I can't see it now. Where's it gone? Oh, look, there's one here. There's one here. I thought there was one here somewhere, but I can't see it now. No, Lucy is gone. Wait, oh, if I move out, maybe if I move out the function, there we go. It's a tiny little. It's not actually Lucy. Like it's just a star with a face on it. It's like a an AliExpress Lucy. Knockoff Lucy. Oh dear. Right. Okay. So let's do compare exchange. Compare. Oh no. Exchange. Is it called compare exchange? It is, isn't it? Compare exchange. Compare. Out of do you just call it error? There we go. So now I'm going to have errors here. Expected 3 arguments, got 4. What have I done here? Oh, that's just wrong. Oh no, this is meant to be compare. Where is my compare exchange? So at index expected int there we go. Excuse me. We should probably add these as well. So in array at index replace with, there we go. Gosh, I have to blow my nose again. This is really annoying. I've got the sniffles. Lovely. This one says exchange. This one should say compare exchange. And I think these tests are wrong now because they should say comparison failed. Out of oh, why am I not getting auto completion here? I'm not sure why I don't get auto completion now. Maybe it's because I don't know. Compare out of bounds. Oh. It's an out of bounds. Okay. Out of bound. And now we have, this is meant to do that. So now we need to implement exchange. It takes an additional argument. How do you think we identify if it's out of bounds or not? Oh, we should do the, oh, no, stop that. We want to do the Erlang one first because I haven't implemented the JavaScript one yet. A Lucy hat would go hard. That'd be cool. Status Gleam merch. Really hoping we're going to get something very soon. But who knows? It's impossible to know. I've thought we're going to get merch very soon a few times. Oh, I keep doing long file. But it's always hard to know what's going to happen next. Struggle with sustainable sourcing. Yeah, we're trying to use a small company to do all the printing and stuff rather than go with like one of the massive printing things. And I think if we get it all working, it'd be good because it'd be nice to support small things. Don't give it all to a massive, horrible, Silicon Valley corporation. And the problem with my point of view for sticker printing from these companies is that you buy a few dollars worth of stickers and then you pay like $10 for shipping, which is ridiculous. So I should be able to do it cheaper with a small place. Okay, returned okay. What? Why does it return okay? Let's see what the docs are because I didn't actually read the docs. Compare exchange. Oh, you just returned the original thing. That's funny. That's quite funny. I guess that does make sense because you know what the value is going to be. Yeah, you don't need to return the old value, do you? Yeah, there's no point. There's no point at all returning the old value. So let's fix that. Excuse me. Oh, but I didn't actually fix the FFI. Okay. Maybe I should read the docs, like at all. Oh, we should probably return what the integer is in the case when it doesn't match what we expect it to be. So let's do that. Of and okay. And if it fails, then we want to return an error of Comparison failed. What am I doing? I'm using the wrong syntax. Comparison failed with the actual value. Okay. No, it's the wrong place again. Okay, integer. Yeah, I mean, that is not a bad Erlang API, Haley. They get so much worse than that. Nice, so that's nearly what we want. And comparison failed. Actual is an integer. That's because it is now 50. 3 seconds to compile one file of Gleam is outrageous. That is so bad. Compare exchange fail test. This should say 50. And then we've got an oob. Value error nil. Because this is meant to be comparison out of bounds. Oh, I really hate that feature of my editor. That behavior of my editor. Is it possible to read coverage stats from Gleam test? Gleam test, all it does is it runs the main function in your test module, so you can make it do whatever you want. How coverage works, I have no idea. I presume you can implement it in the same way that people implement it in other languages. No idea how that works. But there's no test thing built into Gleam at all. It just by default comes with a janky library, which has way more. It has way more respect. I don't know. It seems to have way more authority than it deserves because it's not a very good library that I made in like a day, because I added it by default, which maybe isn't great. The star test is arguably better, but it's got quite a complicated API that I'm not a massive fan of. So I'm not super confident making it a default. Maybe in future we'll make it so that they don't necessarily come with any particular default and it just has some instructions on how to add various test things, maybe, I'm not sure. Or maybe we'll add some like testing capabilities to the actual language itself. I don't know, it's tricky really. But I think we need good options. Like if once we have like better options for test frameworks, then I think we can make it the default agnostic to any test framework. But I don't think we really have those yet. Like StarTest is better than Glee Unit. But I don't feel like that any of them are there yet. We should stop including it if we're going to tell everyone it's rubbish every time it comes up. I think it's like the best I think it's the best default we've got at the moment. It's not any good, but I don't think there's a good default at the moment. I think that StarTest is too complex to be a default. And it's got some bugs like it. I can't remember why. Someone got it to crash the other day, which is not great. It also uses a lot of code, so it takes quite a long time to compile, which is not great for a small project. Morning all, hello. Is it ZWebs or ZWebs? Hello. Just write correct code and you don't need any tests. Ah, I see you're friends with Haley. I think there's definitely space for some testing specific features in the language. Like assertions for sure, but I think maybe some test discovery system would be really good. I don't know what that would look like though. So there's still a lot of things to work out there. That's probably the area of Gleam that I think it's not very sexy, so people don't talk about it, but that's an area with language design that would actually be quite beneficial. Let's do some JavaScript ones now, eh? This is going to fail because that function doesn't exist. Yes. Compare exchange. And let's look at the docs rather than guessing for a change, eh? Oh, my mouse just lagged then. Wow, I'm gonna have to stop in a minute because my computer can't take it. Does it tell you what the problem is? So what? Expected value, replacement value. So here it's set to 5. It's expected to be 5, so replacing this return. So you check if the one you put in matches what you got out? No. Yes. Checking return value. Oh, here we go. So you should check the value of check if it's return if necessary. Okay. Because it returns the new value? Returns the old value. Okay. So compare exchange previous if previous equals expected. It's silly that you got to do this check twice, eh? And now we need to import some more things. Comparison. Can't remember what the name of the constructors are now. Atomic array. And so this is new comparison, out of bounds, and this one is error G. Oh. Gosh, look at that formatting. That's so slow. Think it's going to work? No, it didn't work. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see what the error is, eh? Unlike last time, I just ignored it for a long time. Z-wubs. Compare exchange is not a function, isn't it? Oh, because it's JavaScript, so that'd be why it doesn't work. Wow, so slow. Someone buy me a new computer, please. Invalid atomic access index. Is it? Is it? Cannot convert undefined to a big int. What? How does that work? Ansel, don't log. Let's try and make this thing's better, eh? Okay, so. Whoa! I got cheered. New computer inbound. I would like one single bit computer, please. So let's move some stuff out of the try-catch because try-catch is rubbish. So we're going to have a previous. Previous is going to be equal to that. Come on. Oh, there we go. Formatting. Formatting hard, eh? So we've got two failures. Still have two failures. Something's out of bounds, and undefined can't be converted to a big int. What have I done wrong here? So, it'd be lovely if I could see this on the same. My window is big enough to be able to read these at the same time I have the code open. So the first one is coming from compare exchange, and it's saying the invalid atomic access index. Okay. So let's start by logging things. Array index expected value. Pop. Oh, that is actually out of bounds. No, that's meant to be out of bounds. Okay. Cannot convert undefined to a big int. What's the undefined? Am I not passing it? Oh, I'm not passing the arguments in. Oh my gosh, I'm not passing the arguments in. What a fool. What an absolute fool. You should stop watching me, folks. Like, this is just bad programming. Oh, look at that. Oh dear. Big int. It expected. Oh, but like spelt all manner of wrong. Gosh, how embarrassing. I'm going to say this because I'm hungry. What's X? There isn't an X. There we go. So it's very long, this, isn't it? Look at that. We imagine the public pressure improves the code. Yeah. Well, you're my linter. You're meant to spot the problems. I can't believe none of you pointed out that that had the wrong number of arguments been given to it. I wonder if this works now. No. Slightly more working though. So, oh no, that is working there. I'm just still printing the exceptions, but because this is JavaScript, a silly language, like all languages, it's using exceptions for flow control. Naughty, naughty. I don't like how this is formatted. It's like way too big. Gosh, that was laggy. Yeah, I'm getting hungry. And my computer's getting slower. Oh my gosh. Prettier timed out. Oh my gosh. Maybe it is recording. Like, maybe that's what the problem is. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. I can't even format things anymore. That's wild. Okay, let's do something about that. Oh no. Okay, well, I guess I won't do that. That's amazing. Yeah, so there's something wrong with OBS. I wonder what it is. Oh my gosh, it's so slow. It's getting worse. I think there might be a Rust-based, prettier alternative that does lensing. I mean, yeah, I mean, if my computer, if Prettier is not capable of formatting one small JavaScript file in like the 3 seconds or whatever it has in the timeout, I don't think that's a problem with Prettier. Something has gone wrong with my format. How do I toggle format? Toggle auto format. There we go. Yeah, something's wrong with my computer at this point. Well, I mean, I think it's a problem with OBS, or maybe with the multiple streams plugin I've got, but something just doesn't work anymore. I've no idea what it is. Maybe I can try and update these plugins and see if something works. It would suck if it's the multiple stream plugin, because I don't know how to stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time otherwise. How many people are in YouTube at the moment? Oh, there's a few. It's definitely worth having it streamed to YouTube and Twitch, because like people generally are live in Twitch, and then YouTube afterwards. That's where people watch the videos. People don't watch videos on Twitch. Plus, they delete them after like 2 weeks or something like that. Right? Are we working yet? Let's run all of the tests. Nice. It's getting real slow, so I think that means we stop. Yeah, let's commit. Yeah, why not? Atomics. Oh my. Boom. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna go and hey, is any Gleam people want to do some streaming? Any Gleam people want to do some streaming? How did you get the formatter? Which key pop up? I have that for all my other keybinds, but not my formatter. Maybe it's a PrettyJS thing, not a Rust form thing. Good question. I think it's nothing to do with. I think it's nothing to do with Prettier or the formatting plugin. Oh, stop! Ansible. Hello, hello. Ansible's a wicked tool as well. Unless it's a reference to the book. How's it going? You've raided me at quite a time. I was just about to go get lunch. How do I do the thing? Shout out. Star Ansible. Star Ansible is a terrible streamer. He streams for 1 hour and then he goes away. I hate him. What? What are you supposed to do instead of streaming for a while? What were you doing? How's your stream going? We're having a problem that I've got a memory leak in OBS, it seems, or something. There's some sort of leak, I think, because I get to like 2 hours, 2.5 hours of streaming, and everything gets real slow, real slow. Didn't achieve anything other than playing a crappy card game. Oh, okay. Damn. Well, we got a raid from me at the end of it. That's pretty cool. Oh, well, good to see you folks. Anyway, so my computer is absolutely crawling now due to this leak. No idea what's going on. So I think that means we're gonna do a bit of the old Raider Rudy on someone else. As you said, really slow. You were at 20 FPS per second. Yeah, so something's dying. So that means it's time to stop. Which means. But seriously, if any of you folks want to do some streaming, like I'll raid you if you start. Like just let me know who wants to do some streaming. Ah, Potato Enjoyer, thank you so much for coming, by the way. It's nice to do streams at different times, then different people can catch them. Good fun. Has anyone got any... Okay, so if nobody wants to do some streaming themselves, if anyone's got any opinions on who we might stream instead, the dev dad doing some TypeScript, that sounds kind of cool. Hey Tuna, if you want to do some streaming, are you being serious? Like, I would totally stream you. I would totally raid you. Yeah? No? Maybe? What do you say? If not, I think maybe the dev dad. I don't know the dev dad. I've never watched them. I did think I've watched them at least. What? Why is this one? There's a sexual programming? What? How does that work? Oh, I should not. Oh, I see. I watch Casper 573 sometimes. Okay, where's that? Casper. Is it on here? Well, I pressed search and there's nothing come up. What's going on here? Oh, because I pressed search in the wrong box. Casper. Casper? Where is it? Oh, here we go. Multiplayer game. It's a game though. I don't like raiding game people. I want to raid like us boring business programmers, you know. Code is too sexy to look at. Sexy programming must be in Rust. It's all Gleam here. It's all Gleam. Swedish. Oh yeah, it's Swedish. Oh yeah, good point. I have to do English as well because I won't understand what they're saying otherwise, and then I just have a bad lunch being confused by Swedish. Swedish. TypeScript. I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna raid Dad. Good old Dad. Come on, come on. There we go. Gosh, my computer's struggling. Say something.
New Mac with an Android emulator if I can help it though.
Say something else. I got a follow from Alex Sad. Oh, 95. That's a very good year. Good year for dance music in particular. Almost as good as 94. Robotic Head is decent. Okay, well let's just quickly have a little look back at what Robotic Head. Because the dev tag's got a cat though. It's got a cat though. Wait, I'm gonna like close some of my chat programs. Maybe that's what's going on here. So what was it? It was Robotic Head. Robotic Head. WordPress. Oh, that's nice. I like WordPress. I mean, I don't like WordPress, but like, I like that someone's doing WordPress on stream. That's cool. I respect that. To like, oh, it's like, what is this thing? Say something. Say something. Come on. It's got episodes. Episode 341. SVG. Good accent. Can I use it? Wow, this sounds cursed. This sounds absolutely dreadful. Let's 100% stream this because this sounds like. This sounds super cursed.
Right. Seems like the SVG tags needs more attributes.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Right. What's his name? Robot. Oh, I'm spelling Robotic Head. Robotic Head. This person's like doing like after elements in SVG. Like that's messed up. I like fully approve. All right, folks. Thank you so much for coming. I really enjoyed this morning. It's lunchtime for me, so we're gonna finish. Let's go. Yeah, let's go make Robotic Head have a nice time with lots of support. As soon as I've said goodbye to YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube.